Oh yeah, and Dylan's a douchebag. And fucking...
I gotta tell you, the first time I saw you, it was Halloween, and I saw Jody Joe in the Vault play, and then Nate got up and played I Built the Shadow with the full band, one song, and kicked ass, and I had no clue who he was. And then he finished, and I was like, wow, that was really cool. And then you got up there, right after Nate, and you seemed pretty intoxicated, and your comedy was like, it made me look at my friend and go, like, WTF, did he really say that? But it made me engaged, and I was like, you were interesting, and I was like, who the fuck is this crazy fucked up dude up there doing this crazy shit? Like, this is crazy. And then I looked behind me at one moment to be like, are people freaking out right now? And no one was really freaking out. And I was like, oh, this is interesting.
Other...
And then your ex got up there right after.
People don't realize that I have recordings of all of my sets. So every time that people try to tell me, like, there was outrage in the room, people were getting all mad, and like people try to spread that as the narrative, I just play the fucking audio of it for people.
Yeah.
I go, look, I said it, and they laughed.
I was there, and I turned around because, you don't usually, in this day and age, hear somebody so on the PC on a microphone. So that's why I turned around and I was like, how do people react to this? Yeah.
But I just think it's funny that, like, I'm the fucking on PC. Like, I was raised by, like, pretty much liberal. I was raised mostly by my mother. We were getting ready to put Hillary Clinton in office since before we put Obama in office. Because my mom was more into putting a woman in than a black guy. But we were also happy to have a black guy.
My parents voted for Ross Perot.
I have cousins who've dated black people. I've dated fucking a lot of people of color. Thank you very much. That's what I find offensive when people call me a racist, is like, I've loved a fucking Asian girl. I've loved a fucking black girl.
Okay, I got a question for you, though.
So how can you say that
you have been... I believe it might have been the night that you broke your ankle. That night, you were pretty fucked up, and you gave me a knife.
Yes.
You were like, here, Jackie, I think you might need this more than I do. And you gave me a knife. And then at one point, I believe you told me...
in case somebody tried to beat you up.
Yes.
I was like, fucking... Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so he's transphobic, totally, and he's like, here, Jackie, just so you're safe, I want to give you this.
Yeah,
so, thanks.
But I'm a transphobe.
Anyway, I believe you told me that night that you were racist. And you told me this, like, I don't like anyone who isn't white, or I think Asian, you said, or something like that.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that was part of your act, or you were like, you're really out there. I was probably
trying to, like,
you were out there.
I was really wasted. That night that I broke my ankle,
after you talked to me, you wander over to the front of the stage,
like,
and then
6 beers in an hour, like, when I got there. That was the night that I found out my ex had started dating someone again, so I was in a really bad mood.
Ah, I see. Okay.
Yeah. Fucking one of those things. Whatever.
I don't get involved in that kind of emotions.
I'm very passionate. Like, I'm a very passionate
jaded
person.
And
I wish that
I don't care anymore.
I was jaded.
Everything's ended terribly
for a second.
It all starts out okay and then ends in bullshit. So I'm just tired of it. So.
But that can't be our lot in life. I don't accept that.
Yeah, but I'm tired of wasting 2.5 years at a clip here. Like every relationship's like 2.5, 3 years later. Fuck this, I'm out, and it happens every time since I was like 18.
What's the alternative?
Just have good friends, do your thing.
Yeah,
friends. Don't worry about that bullshit.
Okay, yeah. I don't see any problem with that if that's the path.
I've never let anyone into my life that, in a physical sense, that didn't end up in an emotional, just annoyance or, just an emotional negative bring down. It brings you down. They start trying to control you. They start yelling at you. Everyone, they change you. They want you to do stuff or, I don't know.
See, I think I might be, like, weirdly old-fashioned, because I don't think that people should be yelling at each other, or, like...
My ex is fine. He had personal demons.
I hate arguing.
His demons were all within himself. He needed to go away and fix himself. I couldn't do it. I tried. So our relationship, besides him not loving himself, was okay. We got along. We didn't yell at each other. We didn't fight over stupid shit. It was just, he has a drinking problem and. Whatever, depression. Suffers from depression, so it's hard to be with someone who suffers from depression.
Yeah. It's... As a person who is all fucked in the head, that's the term I prefer, is fucked in the head.
Yeah.
My brain doesn't work right. Like, I'm conscious of the fact that I'm a nuisance. And that's the roughest part.
How are you a nuisance, though?
Like, because I am super fucking crazy. And, like, I just asked this one. Fucking, like, some of the shit that I get obsessive over, or, like, just plain weird about because of... shitty things that have happened in my past that I haven't fucking let go of, or...
That's another thing I don't understand.
Pattern recognition.
Why are so many people living in the past?
Pattern recognition. Because, I'll tell you why.
Because that's one thing I never do.
I'll tell you why. Because I don't think that I live in the past. I think that...
Dwell on it. Think about it.
I don't really, though.
Okay. A lot of people do that.
I don't really sit around and think about, like... Oh, man, when I was with such and such, things were so much better. Or even, like, when I was single, things were better. Like,
No, a lot of people think about when things were bad.
I don't waste time
on that.
Do you
ever wake up and have a bad day because of something that happened in the past that has no effect on your life today?
You're being,
Has that ever happened?
I'm trying to answer one question, and then you're hitting me with another one before I can answer the first one. What was the first thing? Oh, I don't feel like I live in the past, but it's pattern recognition. So if you have, say, dated 10 people, and 9 of them, it didn't end up so good. And, like, by that I mean, like, people got hurt. Because I've had relationships that ended relatively amicably, and where it was
I had a couple of those, but I've had other ones that ended violently.
Somebody got... Yeah, whatever. After a while, you start going like, alright, when's the other shoe gonna drop? You know what I mean? Like, it's in your... like, fucking, if I hit this cat all the time, it wouldn't come near me anymore. Right. It would fucking think I was gonna hit it. You know what I mean? So, this happens with men especially, I think. Like, men fucking start to hate women. And, like, have a real, like, anger towards women. I've known dudes who...
I think it goes both ways, though. I think there's women that hate men.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. But, like, there's one comedian in particular who I can think of who I've said before to him, like, dude, you gotta get a grip, because, he's sitting there stewing in it. It doesn't do you any good to stew in it.
No,
and that's
some
why
people
I
do,
don't like
though.
fighting.
Yeah.
I don't like to fucking drag
My mom always
things
said,
out.
never go to bed mad.
I like to... In the past, I feel like I would not show my feelings or say how I was really feeling because I wanted to be cool. I didn't want to blow the cover and let them fucking know who I am, and that I have
talk about feelings. You don't do
weaknesses and
that.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's bullshit, and that's no way to live a fulfilled life. At the end of the day, whether they accept it or not is up to them. But I can't fucking live a life and not
I don't
go.
talk about
This
feelings.
is how I. Well, do you think about it, or do you just?
I don't know.
not?
Just as an observer from being around Providence in the last 8 months or so, like 9 months, whatever it's been, I said, I notice a lot of people
Assuming this
are
is
very
recording.
open about their feelings,
At this point, okay.
right? It's something you come in and you see like, oh, this person's hurting, or that person's having a bad day, or that person's going through this, and this person's dealing with that. I come in and I'll never tell you what I'm dealing with. I'm just here to have fun.
I don't try to fucking let everybody in on my feelings, but that's where, to bring it all back, that's where I know I'm a fucking nuisance, is because I don't have a good, that's what, mental illness could be, what part of it could be is, like, I don't have as good of a grip on, if I'm bummed out, not being, like, bummed out, you know what I mean? Like, it's the way I am.
And what bums you out?
All sorts of shit. Like, anything from fucking personal issues, if I'm not getting along, if me and my girl are fighting about something, if me and my friends are fighting about something, or
See, I don't ever get on a level with people too much, ever. That's gonna get me emotionally involved with the person to cause me to feel such emotion that we're going to fight. So there's no girlfriend, there's no significant other in my life.
It's not
my
even.
friends,
But you're putting words in my. It's not that we're fighting. It's maybe just that there's just something. Well, imagine you had a friend who was
even when you pissed me off, I didn't fight with you. I just came to you and was like, hey.
A drug problem, and you knew that there was nothing you could do to stop them from doing drugs, but you were worried about it. And you fucking you really wish that, I've had times that I was like, I wish I could be more callow, more cold, like, I wish that I could not give a shit, but I really do. Like, I really do fucking, it bums me out. When people are sad, I get sad for them, kind of. When people are happy, I get happy for them.
I think that's human nature.
Well, not the way that you're describing it.
I'll tell you what, though. Like, you shouldn't do drugs.
You've risen above it.
You know you shouldn't do drugs. And I come from getting raised on Rocky, where I believe that if you really want to get your ass off the canvas, you'll make that choice to reach for the rope. But I'm not gonna, that's up to you, man. Like, I'm not gonna get bummed out about your bad trip. Like. I wish you the best, but...
Well, fucking, you're one of the ones that I'd rather fucking hang out with, because it's the other people that get...
I'm not going to sit here and lecture you ever, because you're an intelligent person, and you know anything I could say to you, you know and more. So it's up to you to say, I'm done. Like,
well,
you don't feel you have that? I feel I have a switch. Like, I can go out and I can get, drink a little more than usual, eat a lot of more shitty food than usual, gluttony, and all of a sudden it comes to one day and I go, I don't really feel good doing this. Flip the switch.
The thing is,
no more gluttony. And I'm done with it.
This is getting into maybe...
No, I've never done your drugs, so I don't know what it's like.
Another part of mental illness, but maybe, fucking genius.
But I've had the flu.
Is you and I both understand that. Like, we both understand the edge.
You walk a lot closer to the edge than I ever do.
But even the fact that you just said that so matter-of-factly, if it ever comes down to it, I'll just shut the lights off, and there we go. Fucking end of story.
No, that's not what I mean. The light switch for me is, I can switch myself on from saying, I'm going to eat apple pie, drink beers with Nate, do shots, do whatever I want, go out to eat with my mom, eat rolls. I think of it as eating more. I have issues with food mostly, I think, where it's like I'm very restrictive and then I enjoy myself but I also have the ability to discipline myself that quickly. Like, I can just choose, today is the day. Boom. No more of that. There's no oh, I'm struggling with this. I enjoy it, I stop it. Easy like that. You know what I mean?
When I don't take any drugs besides, or rather, I only smoke cigarettes if I take opiates, including methadone, and,
I don't know if it's
uppers.
I don't know if addictive personality, is that a real thing? Or is that some bullshit?
I've got mixed feelings about it. Speaking of which, you want to fucking take this outside? Hey, podcast listening audience, you ready for some ambient noise? Dylan needs to smoke a cigarette. I'm a selfish fuck, and you all get to enjoy shitty noise. Fuck yourselves. Lo-fi revolution. I'm sick of podcasts sounding so goddamn good. What?
Okay, there it is.
What's up?
Nothing.
We're just doing audio. We're gonna take a picture of us every time and make it easy. Kitty. So what we're saying? Addictive personality. Is it a thing? Is it real?
I think that sort of ties into the whole, smarter than AA fucking shit,
Well, a lot of people say, I've never done AA, but a lot of people say AA, the problem is the whole God aspect of it. Surrender to a higher power.
It depends.
And I'm like, no, I am the higher power. I'm the one who reached for that switch and just turned that shit off. You know what I mean? I'm the one who decided to not do this or to do that. Is there a higher power? I don't know.
I used to fucking be very much into that and be like, I don't fucking have a drinking... I want to drink. Drinking is better than fucking regular life. Therefore, I drink. It's a no-brainer. That used to be my fucking logic. Now...
I only drink socially.
In later years,
it's a social thing. I get nothing out of it.
I realized that that's what people are describing when they describe an addictive personality. So it depends on your perspective. So does it exist? If you want to use those words.
Because I do not have I've smoked cigarettes before. I never got addicted. I smoked cigarettes for in my 20s, probably 6 months every day.
Well, that's the
Never
weird
got
thing,
addicted.
is I would say
All of a sudden, my basketball season came up, and I just stopped. I
am
worked out for a month and
still
went to the basketball
not
league and started
addicted.
dunking the ball on the line. You know,
because
just boom.
hypothetically,
Have fun. Summer's over. Discipline.
someday, if I leave the secret society and I fucking, that's a term I borrowed from Bob Forrest, which I later originated. Fucking, goddamn, what was I saying? Oh, if I ever get off methadone and actually stop doing drugs and blah, 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 I don't think I will smoke cigarettes either. Like, I would not be the dude outside the AA hall smoking cigarettes, because even when I drink and I'm not on any kind of upper or opiate, I will maybe have a couple of cigarettes, and that's just to talk to people, and it won't be completely gross. If I'm sober and I just have a cigarette, or especially if I smoke a bowl and then smoke a cigarette, that shit is
When's the last time you were
nasty.
like drug free? Like when you were just healthy and
completely
like felt like
drug-free?
good, normal, like without
Completely
substances.
drug free. Cause I had a stretch when I was 21 where I wasn't drinking or doing anything except weed. It was pretty much just weed.
That didn't work out for you.
No. But I actually, I was only fucked up for a few months longer after that, because I started doing comedy. Because in November, what happened was the first, my first run doing dope, I also fucking drank, just really heavily, which is not uncommon at all.
I have a question I think
Yeah.
a lot of people might think, and that is, why would you ever try it? Like, for me, it's like, I've seen enough movies, I've seen enough stuff, I know heroin sucks, it fucks up your life.
I'll give you
all of a sudden
fucking,
you're like, all fucked up like drugstore cowboy. Like, it doesn't work out for anyone, ever.
I watch Drugstore Cow. Here's my fucking problem.
So why are you
Here's my fucking
I'm
problem.
gonna go there?
Is I watch
that's
Drugstore Cowboy and I fucking go, guys, let's rob some pharmacies and hospitals. Like, Drugstore Cowboy to me just looks like fun. Like, I realize logically in my better thinking, I know that fucking girl was supposed to be underage and she died and all of that, but when I'm watching it, it just looks like a good bit of fun. Train spotting. Like, fuck it. When I first got sober, when I first got off, dope, and I fucking went to the methadone clinic,
I think it's interesting that there's, a lot of people that
I
have never
wanted to
known
watch
this to be
BoJack
physically
Horseman.
awesome.
I wanted to watch BoJack Horseman, the second or third day that I got home, and we need to, we're, spinning around a little bit with, topics here, but yeah, I wanted to watch BoJack Horseman, my third day sober or whatever. I was like, I've never watched it sober, I want to see it. And Heather was like, I don't know if that's a good idea, buddy. Maybe give BoJack a break. And I watched 2 episodes of it, and it's so negative and so
I've never seen it.
but it still looks like fun to me. All the fucking, I love excess. So to answer the question,
But why not join CrossFit and go crazy, obsessive about it?
Don't ask fucking questions you know the answer to.
I don't know the answer
to that. Why would you try heroin?
Yeah.
I'll say it a way that you personally could probably understand. I want to be like Iggy Pop. Fucking, I
don't believe
Iggy
that.
Pop was fucking cool.
Okay. I love Iggy Pop, but I think I would never
I don't.
I like his abs.
When
What do
I
I
say
need to
that,
get abs
I
like
don't
him?
mean
Work out. I don't know.
I wanted to be Iggy Pop, but I wanted to be that.
One of the most disappointing moments in my life was when I was listening to Iggy Pop's song 5'2", and I realized
He
that
was
Iggy
5'2".
Pop was only 5'2". The legend in my mind of the Dum Dum Boys was just completely changed.
Why, are you some kind of fucking heightist?
No,
You're,
but he was just,
you're prejudiced, Jackie. Fucking, that's fucked up.
if you put him next to Brad Pitt in Fight Club, Brad Pitt's gonna like tower over him. And, like,
Yeah, but Brad Pitt doesn't have Iggy Pop's wild Wolverine fucking banshee spirit. Iggy Pop is I don't know. I wanted to get as close to the edge as I could. So I was like, you know, fucking all
that,
these
though.
other
I don't get
pussy
that.
19-year-olds are doing whatever, like, you know.
so feeling
think that
physically
it's cool to
bad
fucking do
is a
couple
good
of lines.
thing.
The thing is, it doesn't feel physical. The first time, my first run, I never really got to where I was feeling physically bad. At the end, it wasn't pleasant coming off.
I think if you smoke cigarettes,
wasn't ending.
you end
It
up
wasn't
feeling bad.
pleasant coming off
If you
of
drink too much,
but
you feel bad. You do
I
hard
wasn't
drugs,
really getting sick.
you end up feeling bad. Like, I don't know.
Were you fucking Walter Cronkite now? Like,
I don't know. I don't know what that means.
fucking no. Here's the thing: is you do you feel bad. Obviously, for me,
I feel bad if I drink
good.
too much. I drank tequila with my friend like a few months ago. I woke up at 3 a.m. and felt awful. And I was like, I'm not drinking tequila again. That was terrible. Why would I do that to myself? Yeah, the moment with Aaron was fun.
I don't like
But the
tequila.
moment at 3 a.m. was awful. And I'm like, fuck that.
See, to me,
I could have fun with Aaron with no tequila.
The
You know, like-
fun is totally worth the hangover
Oh,
every time.
Yeah.
And
How old are you?
I'm 24, so
Yeah.
my hangovers will get steadily worse,
Yeah.
and someday I'll be fucking boring too. Like,
What will Dylan Walsh
let
be
me
at
enjoy-
43?
I don't know. What were you like at 24? Fucking
24. I don't remember. 98? Oh. I was hanging out with my first boyfriend in Boston. I think John Elway won the Super Bowl. He went to Emerson. They lived right on Calm Ave. So, it was a cool time. Just going to Axis. X night at
I
Axis.
didn't go to like Emerson. I fucking
Yeah.
took a class. If I had kept going in the
We had
program,
no cell
I would've
phones.
fucking.
We had no internet.
I just don't want to fucking be.
We
built
had
up too
records
much.
and CDs and movies. That was our life. Music and movies.
Fucking. You know what I think is bullshit? Savers records used to be like 50 cents or $1 there, I think. They ever since fucking everyone started buying records, they're like $4 a piece at Savers.
It's trendy, yeah. You go into,
Fuck
you
that.
want to go buy Raw Power vinyl at Newbury Comics,
Fuck
it's
that.
$25.
I would rather go buy it at Newbury Comics if Savers is going to be cunty about it.
I have it. I bought it. Raw
Fucking-
Power. I have it on that record. I never played it before.
The one that I had to get when I got my record player working was Little Girl Blue by Nina Simone. I love that album.
Never heard it.
Oh my god, it's so beautiful. It's the best fucking like jazz piano record yet.
I probably never want to listen to it.
What's up?
I don't really like that kind of music. People
I like it.
My brother
I
always says,
like-
you only like one kind of music. That's it. I like that.
That's
I like hip hop, punk, alternative. I like music with high energy. If I
Yeah.
want low energy, I listen to silence. I listen to me shift my gears in my car and listen to the engine rev and
I always
I don't know.
need
Listen to the air blow. I sit in the backyard in
Music.
serenity and I listen to the wind and I listen to the birds
I like
and I listen to the
music
squirrels on the feeder. You know, I don't know.
that has some kind of edge. But it doesn't matter if the edge
My
is
dad would probably like her though. I'll
in
tell
the-
him. He likes soulful female singers.
We have to be better about talking over each other.
Yeah.
We are talking over each other.
But you'll talk forever and I won't say a word. A lot of times.
Well, that's fair.
You don't stop talking.
I have a lot of things to say.
Yeah.
My...
So tell me about this weekend you had.
Which weekend?
The weekend that caused your Monday to be not what you hoped it to be. You should have snuck up on you and it wasn't fun.
Yeah, I didn't sleep for the entire week before it. And then fucking, you know, just, it just wasn't a good weekend.
Not too many details out there for the people.
Well, fucking, like I was saying earlier about how I know I'm a burden. Fucking sometimes I just don't have a good weekend. It's just rough. You know?
I don't know, my weekends are usually the same. Stay home and chill, or I go out and have fun.
Yeah,
One of those two.
I'm in
and I'm okay chilling.
I'm an emotional roller coaster.
Yeah, I'm an emotional, like, usually pretty even.
Well,
Sometimes I dip a little, but that might last just a day or two, and then boom, right back.
Gavin McGinnis says it's because you're healthy and well-adjusted.
Right.
Fucking
drink a lot of water, get some sun, do some exercise, don't smoke, drink very little, don't do a lot of drugs, don't eat sugar. How much sugar are you eating these days?
I try to limit my sugar intake.
Yeah, sugar's not good. Fuck people up. It has a lot to do with your mental health. Too much sugar
protein,
fucks with people's mental health, I think.
I started taking vitamins, which is something I've never done in my life.
I take no vitamins. Drink a lot of water. I eat breakfast every day. The same time, pretty much.
I don't know, like, I go to the clinic just about the same time every
And what is your morning routine? Do you have coffee? No, you don't like coffee. Do you drink anything?
I cuddle with someone if they're there. And lately I get up and go to the clinic.
Do you don't have any food? Any beverages?
Water. I'll have some grapefruit juice.
Okay.
And I take
a couple cigarettes.
No, I don't smoke cigarettes in the morning.
Okay.
This is what I'm talking about. I don't smoke my first cigarette until if I take my methadone at 11 o'clock, I might not smoke a cigarette till like 3 p.m.
And what's the methadone endgame?
Get off of it. Although fucking some junkies call methadone users lifers, but you might as well call junkies no lifers, because there's fucking really only one way out of that fucking shit.
Yeah. Doesn't it have an effect on your long-term health, though?
At the clinic, they said that I was surprisingly healthy.
Well, you were 24, honey.
They ran...
Take methadone for 20 more years, let's see what happens.
the amount of shit that I was doing...
The human body is amazingly resilient.
I injected probably like $5,000 worth of fentanyl into my body over the course of a couple of months. I so should be dead.
Right.
I so should be dead.
My dad has this theory that you die when you die, and it doesn't matter what you do or you don't do.
That is about the only fucking theory that makes sense, because I never even OD'd in the traditional sense of the word that I know of, you know.
How many times have you been given Narcan?
0.
0, that's impressive.
No times. Fucking knock on what, like, you're gonna make me end up getting it tonight, but...
Well, don't do any stupid shit and you won't have any Narcan in your life.
Yeah, but it just...
it's not that easy. There's just, like, unbelievable force. Darth Vader's over there with his hand in the air just pulling me towards the heroin.
It's fucking... It's just not... It's
Darth
not
Vader is the heroin
I,
god.
I kind
The
of.
Force is not with you; it's with him.
I kind of resent how lightly you're taking. It's you know, it's deadly.
I know, but we can't just like get you an IV, lock you in a room, wrap you up in some blankets, make you shit, piss, puke, sweat, and then you'll be all right.
Here's the thing. Tried that first, and about day 20.
Did you have an IV and a bunch of Gatorade, and you were properly hydrated?
I didn't have an IV.
The whole thing is you're gonna get dehydrated, and then that fucks with your heart arrhythmia and all that bullshit.
Yeah,
so
but
you need to be hydrated while you go through this.
Before.
Yeah.
Have you ever come off dope?
No, I don't do stupid shit.
So who's got the fucking experience here?
Well, obviously you do, but
I've come off it before, and I knew that it would probably be worse this time because the severity was more so. But I thought I was taking Percocet the whole time. And then after fucking literally like 20 days, I was like, this is not going away. I'm still fucking withdrawing. Like, can you imagine? Almost a month. I was fucking sweating, not sleeping, fucking just sweating.
I saw you sweating.
Fucking kicking my feet, like, so horrible.
Yeah, but did you do under the doctor's care? Did you do under the, like, you just do it yourself?
Well,
you get to a point where you need
a doctor's care now.
Right.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
The doctor's care, the only thing.
But why are you not? Why are you on a methadone, and why aren't you in a just like you're gonna go through detox this weekend kind of deal?
Because
insurance.
I think
money.
No, because I think that I will have a better chance of staying on the straight and narrow and being a contributing member of society if I go this route.
Do people still detox that way? Like,
yes.
I'm gonna go dry out. They say, right? Something like that.
It's not recommended.
You ever see that documentary from Lowell, Mass. in the 90s?
Yes, I have.
Yeah. Mickey Rourke. I mean, no, Mickey Ward's brothers.
Mickey Ward's brother. Yeah. High on Crack Street.
Yeah.
Yeah. I went to camp in Lowell a few years in a row. My friend Allison she lives there. She's from Dracut, Massachusetts. And she said it was that fucked up, like when she was younger, and then they cleaned it up a lot. But I guess it does still have a seedy element to it. You want something to drink?
Okay.
Alright. Fucking. But yeah. I don't know. I mean, again, with the, much like I'm saying, and it's all tied in together, I think that mental illness and drug addiction are pretty comorbid. I don't think that I'm shocking anyone by saying that.
Probably like 75% of the comments, if we actually had an audience, would probably be that I'm mentally ill.
That you are.
To be me is mental illness. Yeah, a lot of people feel that way about me.
What do you think about the?
I thought you were gonna smash me. I was gonna like fight it. I'm quick.
No, she's.
The
reason that she. Well, I don't want to get into it. Fucking. If you act like all fucking nervous of her, she's gonna be like, "What's going on? What's going on?"
Right.
And then she's gonna.
Defense.
If you're not scared of her, then she's not.
So.
But do you
mental illness.
believe that there is
I believe I was
such a thing
very.
as like
I believe
gender
I was
dysphoria?
I believe I was
like,
mentally ill before I transitioned. I was depressed. I was suicidal. I was unhappy. I wasn't me.
Yeah.
Once I transitioned, all that depression and bullshit went away.
And you think that it was just
The only thing that's really ever made me depressed in my life is not being able to do what I want to do.
Yeah. So, like, what is your... Do you believe that you were born with the brain of a woman? Like, what is
I think
your
that's all bullshit too.
explanation?
You really want to get into this part?
Yeah, I really do, because I'm very curious to hear an actual trans person explain to me their thoughts on their... Instead of fucking hearing what I'm supposed to know by rote.
I believe that society has been like brainwashed to believe that we're supposed to do certain things a certain way in general, right?
Yeah.
So with gender, men are supposed to be this way, women are supposed to be that way. My whole thing is that I don't believe in that. Like, I am a trans woman because of the society I live in 2018 on this planet Earth. Right? If we could grow up to be boys who ended up to be exactly how you see me today, and people like would treat me in a feminine way, like a feminine person, the same way they would treat a woman, but me still be just an extremely feminine man who is exactly how you see me, and that was accepted in the world, that would be fine with that. I think that's the reality of it. I think if I said, I'm a woman, or what all this stuff is like, I think that's insane. I think, how am I supposed to know? I have no idea what it's like to be my mom or my sister in their bodies. I only know what it's been like to be in this body and my experiences in the world.
Yeah.
Right? So, I don't know. How can I say I'm that when I only know this?
Well, you've got...
But I'm different than you.
Yeah.
And I'm way different than my brothers or my dad. But I'm way different than my mom or my sister.
Fuck. You just got a whole bunch of feminists back on your side. You know, the
Right. The TERFs are like, hey,
the
she ain't
TERFs,
bad.
the TERFs,
The TERFs are like, she ain't bad. Yeah, so
that's
I don't know, a lot of people...
Trans-exclusionary radical feminist for
and
people
I
who
don't
aren't
want
up
to be
on
in
the
their
lingo.
space, you know? Who wants to go somewhere they're not wanted? Because, I'm a woman.
Oh, totally.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and I don't know. I want to go where I'm celebrated and happy, and my friends high-five me and give me hugs. I don't know.
I think it's like that's a very reasonable way to fucking put so basically what you're saying is you use the term or what term whatever language
I'm a trans
you use
woman. My license is female because that's the world we live in. It's way easier for me, I think, to be me like that than if I was.
It's like a means to an end, so that people understand what the fuck you're talking about, and so that you can
I don't think
move around the way you want. But if
then it comes to sexuality because it ties into men's sexuality.
Yeah,
where if I was just going to be feminine. Men are like, oh, that's gay, you know? Like, it's like gayness gets into gender, and it's like, that becomes a trip for people. Like, am I gay? And I've had so many guys message me and say, I'm attracted to trans women, does that make me gay? And I'm like we're talking about language. We're just talking about words and language, and
really.
And then to me, I can break it down to now we're talking about letters in an organized manner to make sounds that put images and thoughts in your brain. And what if we all didn't speak a language and we just were amongst each other?
I've never understood quite. I guess even as a little kid, I never understood the whole like, does this make me gay? It's like. Because I was raised to believe, like, you know...
Well, now we're going to get into religion.
People are born gay, which now I think that there might be, like, trigger... Like, you know, you set up the fucking... Some people are more predisposed, and then there's something that might make them pop. I don't know.
I think
everyone's
bisexual, honestly. If you want to recreate another human being, you got to do it this way. Okay, but if you just want to have a good time and love someone, you can do it any fucking way.
Yeah, no,
and I think everyone could have those options if they allowed themselves. But we're so conditioned by other people's thoughts and ways and rules and regulations and expectations and whatever else, you know. So There's somebody in the middle of the country who's like, I want to free my brain, and then their grandfather's like, somebody on TV's like, God damn faggots, turn that fucking faggot RuPaul Drag Race off. What are you doing watching that faggot shit? You know?
But at the same time,
so it's just a crazy world.
I doubt that there are any communities like that, because those communities do still exist, as we know. But I bet they all have pretty rockin' underground gay scenes.
I bet they have awesome house parties.
I bet it's more fun to be gay there than it is. I mean, not all of it. I misspoke there. It's not more fun to be gay there. When you fucking get together and get to express yourself and that's gotta be such a fucking
liberating. Yeah. Super liberating.
In my I took this class called Histories of Sexuality, and we read some quotes from people like post Stonewall when being gay became legal, you know. Like, people forget that it was not...
Exactly. You get your face shoved into a sink,
not
barrel full of water.
Well, then the raids on the bars are horrific. That's a horrific chapter. And it's not covered, and, you know, we could do a whole series of
I don't like
episodes
looking
on
back
that.
so long, though, you know?
A lot of the fucking... Like, the older gays who'd been around before that were like, it was so much hotter back then.
Oh, yeah.
When it wasn't out in the open, and it would, you know what I mean? They were fucking meeting up at telephone booths and all that shit. They were like, it was so much hotter.
I don't want to talk trans trash, you know.
Trans trash about...
trans community or whatever, but I don't know. I think it's really also based on who you are as an individual, you know? Like, people like good people. And if you're creepy or weird or whatever, no matter if you're trans, straight, whatever, people aren't going to want you around, so... I don't know. I walk into these music clubs in Rhode Island, and no one even bats an eye. And then somebody came up to me the other day at Parlor and was like, "Can I talk to you?" And I was like, "Oh, this guy's either going to be a creep or a cross-dresser. Let's see what he is." And he ended up being a cross-dresser.
Yeah.
And so we want to talk some questions and stuff. And he said, he thanked me for making trans mainstream. He's like, you make trans mainstream. But he was very paranoid, and he said he could never think of ever doing what I do, just walking in there. And I said, I get so much love in here. I had to pee really bad one time, and I almost peed myself because I had to give 10 hugs before I get to the bathroom. I mean, just be cool. Be nice.
Obviously, we live in a very particular part of the country.
I also think people come off as being narcissists. I think a lot of people who are trans or cross-dressers, they're all about themselves. Pictures, mirror, pictures, mirror. I'm one of the most outgoing people. If you go to my Facebook page, most of the time you gotta scroll through a whole bunch of my friends before you get to me.
Do you think trans people are narcissistic?
Cross-dressers, trans, it's a whole umbrella now. I think, I've been places where it's like all about the pictures. Gotta get pictures. I never even wanted to see a picture of myself. I don't know.
So
when I go out, it's not about me. It's not like I'm there. It's like, oh, look at me.
Of themselves that represent their vision of themselves, or
controversial topics here, Dylan Walsh.
Well, I don't know. I'm not
sexual,
I'm not
maybe.
In the community.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Sexual.
Yeah.
Oh, look at me, I'm so sexy.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Okay. Well, that's not any different than
hookups, parties, transgender conferences. Is like a big hotel party. You know. I think some people they're on a business trip.
Well, meaning that they live
double lives.
Yeah. How many people do you think that there are more people living closeted trans lives or open trans lives now? Because obviously
that's a complicated question because
most of history would have
you
been
know, you
closeted.
think like if you have a whole bunch of closeted people and then they come out and being more public, it's probably inspired enough people, a lot more people to at least be closeted.
Meaning that people see that there's an option.
Right, so they're like, oh, I can. So maybe it inspires people to at least start exploring their gender in the closet. Maybe. Because a lot of people don't ever go outside their mind, I'm sure. There's probably a whole spectrum of people who just had thoughts about this but never acted on it.
That's weird to think of. I bet you're absolutely right, though. I bet there are thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of dudes or women who walk around all day and think,
die with a secret.
I'm really a woman. I'm really a woman. And and they're 8 years old going, I was a woman that whole time.
Yeah, and I never...
And some of them might be content with that life. And I'm sure for others it's very, very difficult.
I'm sure there's both sides of it. Some people, I've heard people say, oh no, I am, but it's too complicated and it's not worth it.
Yeah.
So they don't. And a lot of people, they have kids.
What do you think about...
I don't have kids involved, so that changes my whole situation. Like, if a lot of people...
That makes everything
when
easier,
they,
right?
like I transitioned when I was 35.
Yeah.
A lot of people at 35 already have a family.
Okay. Yeah.
So
they might go.
So a lot of people put it off.
It's not worth it.
They put it off till the kids go to college or they graduate and move out.
Yeah.
And then they have a little time themselves. Now they're in their 50s.
Well, that's like that show with old Jeffrey fucking grabbing by the tambour.
Right. Exactly. I never watched past the first season.
Well, I don't fucking really know anything about it, so I'm not gonna...
Well, the creator made some, sort of shitty remarks about Caitlyn Jenner, and I thought, no matter what you think of Caitlyn Jenner, that was kind of shitty. I don't know.
What did they say about Caitlyn Jenner?
I'd have to look it up to give you a quote, but I just remember it was, negative.
I know Jeffrey Tambor...
So it's
was accused of
creating a show,
I guess,
for
groping
trans.
his assistant or something to that effect, which is why he was fired. But
okay, so what do you want to do? Is that, do you want to start again, or do you want to just use what we did? Or keep going?
we can keep going for a bit if you want. I mean, it's up to
keep going.
you when you want to stop.
Let's look up Jill Solville? Is that her name? Something like that? Jill Soloway or?
Is
what was the name of the show? What was the name of the
Transparent.
show? Transparent creator.
But I know that Jeffrey Tambor had been also accused of some salacious behavior, which he vehemently denied. But there was a fucking... I think that's what that show was about, was somebody who only came out... I knew somebody who that happened to. They didn't have kids, but they were married to someone that I knew in passing for many, many years. And they ended up coming out as trans.
Oh.
It's gotta be... fucking... you wonder, like, some of those suicides, like, with no apparent reason, no note, fucking...
Yeah.
They're clearly tortured by something.
Yeah, exactly.
What... If I can ask you, I know this is, like, fucking super...
Ask me anything.
hot lava, but
Ask me anything.
What do you attribute the trans suicide rate to being so high to?
People not having options, feeling hopeless.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am very fortunate to live in where I live.
Yeah.
So even though it was the 90s and there was no internet, there was a newspaper called, this might still even be around in Boston, called Bay Windows. And Bay Windows had this ad for this cross-dresser club called the Tiffany Club. So, I don't know, one day probably got drunk and I called it. And they invited me over there. So, and I started dating a boy who was a drag queen. So that opened up another whole world, and I started seeing them do makeup and all this kind of stuff. And we ended up breaking up because my boyfriend wanted a boy, and then he's like, "I'm not dating you now," you know.
Oh, because you were getting into...
Yeah, we broke up because of my gender. He's like...
That's a tricky thing,
even though we're
huh?
gay, there's still gender roles, and I'm the woman.
Yeah.
And I was supposed to be the studly man.
Yeah. No shit.
So I was around the world of... that all started with me. Crazy how things work out. So I went to Canton High School. My friend Dwight was on a track team. So my friend Dwight went on track meet against Mansfield High. And he met some girls from Mansfield. So these girls invited him to a party. We were his boys, so he invited us to go with him to this party. So we started dating these girls in Mansfield. We started hanging out with them. So then I met this guy Keith and this girl Lori from Mansfield, and he was in a band, and he went to Berkeley, and she was an actress, and she went to Emerson. So then I didn't go to these colleges, but I would go hang out with my friends. And through that, Lori, who went to Emerson, who was roommates and friends with this guy Will, who was a drag queen, and his friends were these Michael and this Craig, and they were drag queens. So I had this whole world open up to me through the city and all this stuff. So if you're in the middle of Iowa, right, and you live in a town that has 6,000 people in it, and you have no internet, and it's 1997, what the fuck are you gonna do?
Yeah. Boys don't cry. Fucking, that's what you're gonna do.
Right, you're gonna go surfing on a pickup truck.
Sorry, I don't mean to laugh at that.
Have you ever surfed on a pickup truck?
I have not surfed on a pickup truck. I have no desire to surf on a pickup truck. It
think it
seems to only lead to bad things.
Yeah.
Fucking.
So, I think that's where the suicide option comes. It's when you're alone and you only have thoughts and, you know, kind of thing. I think the internet helps.
I'm poking folks. I'm trying to fucking... I'm playing devil's advocate here. Because people... I'm sure you've heard before, like... Fucking trans people are mentally ill. That's why their suicide rate is so high. Do you think that there's a higher rate of separate mental illness among trans people? Fucking, and like I said, you seem more well-adjusted.
If you put any human being in a physical or mental box,
like
they'll lose their mind.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
So I think that's what happens. You get locked in this like mental box of no options, and that's a crazy thought. And who am I going to tell you? Or, that's insane. Or what am I going to do? Walk into a Target and buy something? Oh, I can't order something online because my neighbor's going to see it on the steps. Or you know, so now you're just alone, and then you try to be someone else. So you start dating people, and then you create a life, and then bend down, you know, you're living a lie, and you're lying to them, and everything's false. And then she's loving you, and she thinks you're the greatest thing ever. And in the back of your mind, you're like, I know this ain't gonna last because I'll kill myself before, you know, we have tombstones together. So what am I gonna do? It's just, you know. So
sounds really frustrating.
Crazy, right?
To say the least.
Yeah. So now you're off in this mental box.
Yeah, so I can see... I can fucking see how it'd be frustrating to have people say to you, like, so mental illness is clearly associated. I'll be honest with you, like, I don't fucking know. Because I don't know. But I can see how...
It's a mental illness created by circumstance. Like anyone would
like,
go.
I think my mental illness was at least exacerbated by circumstance. So I can only imagine if I fucking in my head was a woman, and then had people tell, like you said, fucking all this shit.
So then you don't like
So you
reality.
start
So then you
yeah.
start numbing yourself to drown it out, and then that comes. Now you're a drunk. And
Yeah, drug use,
and you're drinking a box of wine every night, and or whatever it is. It's just, and it all stems from people not being free to go do whatever the hell they want.
Yeah.
Like, it's so weird. Like, I can't have long hair, wear lipstick and a dress, and go to a job interview if you're a guy. You have to appear like a guy and wear a suit, and well-groomed and distinguished.
Do you think things are getting better? I won't be
I think
bold as to
100%,
fucking say
100%, but I don't agree
like
with the some of the liberal methods. I don't know.
Like what? Nah, you can't.
Like Antifa?
Fucking,
Antifa's all for me.
Smash cut to me and you with like picketers outside the fucking. Like, what did we do, man? Fucking. I told you, by the end of the fucking a couple of weeks of this, you're going to somehow be trans-hating.
I would translate it.
Fucking racist.
Conservative.
Bigot. Yeah, conservative. You voted for Trump. All of that.
So, I didn't vote, by the way. But, what were we saying? Oh, like Antifa's all for me, Antifa's going to, but I don't think Antifa should just walk up to a guy with a Trump hat and some old 7-year-old dude with a Trump hat and with a sign and pro-Trump, punch him in the face. Like, I think that's kind of fucked up. Yeah, I mean, please don't be punching old conservatives in the face for no reason on my behalf. Like,
you heard it here first, folks.
Please.
This trans woman does not want
that
you to
old
punch
guy will
people.
already be polite and hold the door for me, so there's no reason to punch him in the face.
Will he?
I think so.
Fucking hey. Well, that's as good a place to. That's a good place to fucking put a cork in. How long have we been going?
1 hour and 4.
Is that? Oh, fucking! Let's keep going. What time did you say you need to be out of here?
I'd like to leave somewhere within the 9 o'clock hour.
Okay, so do you want to wrap it up or do you want to?
No, we can keep going.
Okay. I just thought that was a really lovely, nice. The 7-year-old guy
I blend
with the
well
MAGA
now,
hat.
and I'm tall,
I think says a
and
lot.
I think people look at me and go, "Oh, she's trans," but I should hold the door. I don't know. I get. It's been a while since I have. In my early of my transition, probably like in the first couple of years of my transition, I did remember a time I was going into the building. It was like a big like doctor office type building where my laser was, where I got laser on my face. And there was a guy in front of me, and we were about, I don't know, less than 10 feet away from each other. I was right behind him. And he opened the door, and he went to hold it for me. He looked right at me, looked me up and down, turned his head in disgust, and let the door go right in my face.
That guy was rude, to say the least.
But that hasn't happened in a while. Most people are very polite, nice. Call me honey and whatever. Had an incident the other night at the parlor.
What happened? At the parlor?
Not a big deal, really. It could have been overblown. I don't know. So I'm at the parlor, and I'm saying bye to Chris Hansen at the soundboard. Hey, bye, Chris, whatever. He's like, yeah, Jackie, peace out. And I say bye to Jim Daly, and Jim Daly gives me a hug, and there was this dude sitting at the bar. And I looked at him, and because I was saying bye to people, I just said, have a good night. And he looks back at me and goes, take it easy, bro. And I was like, all right, douchebag alert, whatever, so I just walk outside. So I was sitting outside, and Nicole's showing me a video of Corinne's performance that night. And Corinne killed it. Corinne Sullivan was like the best performance I ever seen her.
I know which Corinne.
But her performance was
Yeah.
the best I ever saw Corinne. Top notch. So
No, she's very talented.
yeah, and she's killing it. She's got some new songs that are really good. And so watching the video, and then I was leaving. My car was directly across the street, right next to the Walgreens.
Yeah.
So I was going right across the street in my car, and there's this guy that just said to me, "Take it easy, bro." He starts going towards me in the street as I'm like going towards my car, and he says, "Hey, hey!" And I clicked my alarm, so I went toot toot, in my car, and he goes, "I guess you don't want to talk to me."
Yeah.
And then a friend of ours on the side of the street said, "Hey, what are you doing? Stop! Come here! Stop following her!" And then got in the dude's face and was like, "You're going after my friend." He was like, "Why are you coming after me?" And she's like, "I'm protecting my friend. She clearly made it. You don't want to talk. She didn't want to talk to you." So, I mean, if the guy said something to me nicely in the bar, I was like, "Yeah, you too, hon," or "Yeah, have a great night," with a nice warm smile. But he looked at me with like his eyes was like, "Yeah, you too, bro." There. And I was like, "Fuck you." So when he started approaching me on the street, I'm just like, "Yeah, whatever, dude. I'm just going home. I'm not even going to talk to you." Like,
okay.
You just disrespected me.
I can see that.
So I'm just going to get in my car and leave. I don't know what would have happened if our friend didn't yell at him from a sidewalk, but...
Well, that's what I was like... Was that really necessary if you could already get in your car? But if this guy's
I don't know.
aggressive
by the time I got in my car, I
movements
think he would have been at my car, too. Like, we were just...
So your friend intercepted him?
Did, yes.
Okay, so there you go.
But was it going to be bad or not bad? I don't know. He said that...
But you never know.
He just wanted a ride home. But yeah, he never asked our friend for a ride home.
You never know,
But the way he said, "You too, bro," that was like the disrespectful thing. You know what I mean? Like, I know I'm trans, but you don't have to be a dick about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and who in 2018 doesn't? And also, here's where maybe if this makes me a fucking hypocrite of some kind, like a lesser hypocrite, sue me. But fucking remembering to call, remembering that you're a lady, super easy. Fucking 132 pronouns and all that shit, very complicated and doesn't seem to make a lot of sense, and I feel like I'm being punished in some way.
Yeah,
I don't feel like I'm being
punished
by your existence.
Thank you. Yeah, I don't know what that is either.
I don't feel like what you're doing has anything to do with
like people call Joe Rogan transphobic. But I tell you, if I met Joe Rogan would be, "What's up?" He wouldn't care about me.
Probably. I would say absolutely not.
Yeah, he wouldn't care.
If he's any kind of... I don't think any comedian would care.
Joe Rogan's only thing is giving transitioning kids, which is a topic of, controversy, I guess, maybe a little bit.
The thing that he brings up, and I'm just gonna fucking parrot him because I mean, there are people, for instance, that actress Ruby Rose.
Yeah.
Ruby Rose said that when she was younger, she thought she was trans and she wanted to transition to becoming a boy. But as she got older, she stayed a lesbian, and that she was glad that she stayed a lesbian. So the idea being that you shouldn't transition really young people because they may not have made up their adult minds yet. Again,
and now we're getting into what we initially talked about.
Fun to debate politics. I see all sides of the argument. I see where people are coming from, where they're like, by the time they're 12, it's too late. They've already fucking been branded, in a way that on the other hand, think that it's not a nice thing at all. It's not a nice thing to say. It's not a nice thing to think. But I absolutely think there are parents out there who would maybe coach their kid a little bit in one, one direction or another. Like,
yeah, maybe.
I think it's a status symbol among certain, like, liberal circles. Fucking. I really do. I know that this sounds like wackadoo Alex Jones shit, but I went to school in Boston for a year, guys. That's my. But I took that history of sexuality class. The woman who taught that class was married to another professor of mine and divorced him because she was a lesbian. Then married another dude, had 2 kids with him, and then it just in recent years was talking about how the one kid was trans. Now, if that doesn't sound like a whole lot of
liberal bullshit, no.
If that doesn't sound like there might be some fucking holes in that story, then am I really that fucked up that I look at that and go like, come on.
There's so many factors in that equation we're not aware of that we could never understand the dynamics of any of those relationships.
Sure.
Where it's all speculation and guessing and bad punchlines and whatever.
You are absolutely right.
Yeah, so.
But I don't. If people are willing to poison their children to get attention, you don't think that some people, like Munchausen by proxy?
Okay, so there's a couple of factors here that we can talk about, and that's one would be, hereditary.
If you genuinely
DNA,
are letting your kid
and
choose,
physical, right?
Yeah.
So you got that part of it, and the other part would be more of an environmental thing. What's around you, what influences you, right? What you see. If you're raised on a farm, and your dad builds tree houses and drives a tractor, you're going to have a lot more interest and knowledge about tree houses and tractors. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you're around someone who teaches gender studies and all you ever hear about is their talks on gender studies and what happened in their day when they're talking to people on the phone, it's going to subconsciously start thinking you're going to start knowing a lot about gender and stuff, and that's going to make you explore your own, and now you have avenues and thoughts and paths you never even opened to the person who's interested in tractors and tree houses. So.
But I would guess I'm gonna fucking make one more sweeping, dumb fucking swing it. That you would say that maybe is not such a bad thing. If more people are exploring more ideas about their own identities and... You know a quote that I love? After your...
Okay. If you're not hurting anyone else, or annoying anyone else, or making anyone else, like say you're supposed to work, right? A woman goes to work and she wears a dress. That dress is going to be a certain length and a certain style to go with that job in the corporate world, say, right? She's not going to go in there wearing, booty shorts and a halter top with stripper heels.
Good girl.
Okay, right? So, if people could just present in a way that was okay with their situation without gender, if you want to have long hair and be feminine and you still do your job, but you're not like...
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I tell
well,
people
I paint my
like
nails.
this. I tell people like this. Like in 1,000 years, right, the world is going to be as diverse as the bar in Star Wars.
Maybe. That'd be cool.
Right.
I'd be cool with that.
But we're not diverse. We're such a conservative, controlled society of the way we're supposed to be, work, and act. It's almost like we're programmed to be a certain way.
Oh, I want to say the quote because I really like it, and I want it to be on the podcast, and I think you'll like it. You know Nan Golden? She's a photographer. She did this great book called The Ballad of Sexual Dependency, and ties into some of this shit. Definitely, like.
I don't read other people's stuff much, but
it's just it's photographs. But in the introduction, that's the only text. She says something to the effect of, boys show your tenderness, and girls show your toughness, because that's how.
But the world is already like that, though.
Yeah.
But it's so not talked about or expressed publicly in a big way. Like, there's already some woman, that lives in Alaska, who could walk into any office building probably in Boston or the suburbs and punch every guy in the face, and the guy will probably be like, oh, I'm not going to do shit about it. Because they're pussies. There's a whole bunch of pussy guys in the world. And that woman would fuck them up, every one of them. Because, you know what she does? She kills moose and carries 80 pounds of meat on her back to her friggin' plane that she pushes herself and fuels and lands in the bush. And then she goes into a log cabin that she chopped down every fucking tree herself.
When you said that is that they wouldn't hit her back because she was a lady.
Because she was intimidating. That's why they won't hit her back.
No, it's because she's a lady. That's what I think a lot of
guys, maybe. You got some guy in the office takes jujitsu or something, but I don't know.
Well, that's a real.
You ever see that woman in Alaska?
Thing. Although apparently not, if you watch those old movies. But I was always taught.
A lot of people aren't fighters. They have no clue. You punch them in the face, what are they gonna do about it? Nothing. They're like, oh my god, what am I gonna do? I've never been in a fight in my life. You know, right? Am I right?
Fucking.
Don't we live in a soft society? Aren't most people soft?
The kid that ran at me a couple of weeks ago with his fucking arms extended like he was doing some kind of backwards version of Aikido.
You leg sweep him?
Indicates,
Just leg sweep him. Put him in the back.
No, I just held his arms there. Like, he was my fucking girlfriend.
Yeah, it never even gets to that violent. It just gets to like, you're an idiot, leave me alone.
Yeah, well, why would I don't know.
But I think, how we get on this? Oh yeah, there's women are already masculine. Men are feminine, but it's not. I don't know. It's weird.
Well, but wouldn't you say that like women could be? Does a woman being badass necessarily translate into her being masculine? Because I feel like I know plenty of
Ronda Rousey, UFC fighters are
very
beautiful, and they'll break your arm off.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying in a stereotypical, like, they're a masculine-looking person, you know? Like, you're a feminine-looking person. Like, there's women who have short hair and wear flannel shirts and jeans, and there's not one dress in their closet, and they don't own any high heels, and would never even think of it. And they're driving a truck. Yeah.
Hey, I'm not opposed to it. Kind of into that.
So I think eventually, I won't see it, but I think we'll eventually live in a society where just don't be an asshole, and you can do whatever you want. Do you believe me?
I think that there are, for whatever reason, there always seem to be gender roles. there always seem to be societal roles that are assigned. I don't know why that is. I'm not an anthropologist or a sociologist or anything like that.
I think it has to do with reproduction.
But, like,
and
you look
religion.
at Greece...
Right?
Well, but I would say, yeah, but look at Greece, where their system was built around boy fucking. You know, they had they had sex with women in Athens anyway, pretty much exclusively
Greece.
to have women.
Fuck. I was thinking Olivia Newton-John and John Travolta. I'm like...
No.
I'm like, yeah, they like the T-birds, you know? They were going after the T-birds
Yeah,
for sure.
Greece. Well, that was a whole, fucking... She shows up dressed like a dude pretty much at the end.
I'm sure there was some...
There's
LGBT people
all
in that
sorts
high
of
school.
fucking innuendo in that
Yes.
fucking movie.
There's probably some gay sex going on in that high school.
But yeah, Greece,
Just, well, the movie wasn't about those
the
guys.
civilization was so different from ours, yet had very specific gender roles. If you were a man who was past a certain age, you couldn't get fucked in the butt anymore. What if you loved getting fucked in the butt, you know?
Yeah, I don't agree with the rules and regulations.
Yeah.
I don't-
So you're saying that someday... Well, that's what I would say. I would agree with you, except that there hasn't been a society like that yet that I know of. Except possibly, like, hunter-gatherer societies may have been like that. I think when we find uncontacted tribes
I
who
think
don't
that's
understand
what's happening.
reproduction.
I think that's part of the major
That,
plan.
what it is they don't understand how, like, the
Do you
egg
ever
is
notice that when you watch
fertilized
a
and
YouTube
shit?
video of like a Trump protest versus an Antifa protest, the Trump protesters are big ass white boys who look like they'll fuck you up, and the Antifa people are all these skinny, tiny, small, what do you call it, academia type, never fucking did a push up in their life.
I
Kinda
think that
guys.
it looks good for the video.
So eventually, with all of the soft kill, as Alex Jones would call it, what's in the water, what's in our foods, GMO foods, the air, the water,
The soft
fibers in
kill?
our clothes. It's
So
all,
he's saying, like,
it's
he's
all
like,
to make us more men, less aggressive and less threatening.
yeah. They're turning us into you.
Yes.
Fucking, that's what they're doing. They wanna
So am I a product of
take
this?
away our...
Am I a part of this whole plan to make us change? Or am I natural? Or am I created? How did I don't know.
I wouldn't say I don't care. I don't care when it pertains to you. I'm curious about
I am
it.
what I am, and this is what I am, but I have no
Fucking-
idea how I got this way.
Like, I don't give a shit what...
No idea.
Dude, I really believe... Like, did
I think I
nobody
just have
forget
more of a fuck you
the
that I just do
fucking
it. I just do it,
content
and
of
I'm like,
their character
no.
thing? You only have to change one word. You know, content of his character, content of their character. It's fine. Fucking, as long as you're nice and you aren't fucking being shitty to people, then, you know, you're my friend, you know? I personally,
so much love
I
in my
don't
life. I
care
am
what...
no one cares about me. Not in the circles I run. I mean,
Well, that's what I'm saying, is like, I don't care, I don't give a shit about what you fucking choose or are or don't, like, any of it. Except that you're nice. You're fucking nice to me, and I have interesting conversations with you, which is cool, and all of that.
that's the whole thing.
That's all I
realize.
get. That's all I care about.
I don't ever come on to people in a
I
weird
am
pronounced- I'm
curious what...
chilling. I'm just chilling, you know, like.
I am curious about what makes people tick, but I'm curious about what makes everybody tick. Like,
Well, what do you mean by tick, though?
I
What makes you tick? What does that mean? What makes Dylan tick?
a constant stream of dark thoughts and negativity.
Why?
I don't know, just fucking, I'm with my cat. I'm always waiting for the other shoe to drop. I'm always fucking thinking,
I'm always thinking
This
about,
is-
like, what am I going to wear
this is
tomorrow?
the
What am I
day
going to do
when,
tomorrow?
they're
What am I
gonna
going to make
fucking
tomorrow? What am I going to film tomorrow? Who am I going to
turn
hang
on
out
me
with
and
tomorrow?
kill me and eat me.
You know, am I gonna, is it gonna be sunny? Is it gonna be raining? It's like, I'm just always looking at tomorrow. I'm never really looking sadly back, or I do have sad days, but I have so many less than before. And I'm always looking for the next good time. Happy moments, funny conversation, hug, laugh, cheers, awesome song. Like I'm amazed at how many of my friends are just so awesome.
I'm not amazed at this point. I've known that I'm super blessed when it comes to this fucking podcast is not interesting to anybody except for us for like 20 minutes now. We're just fucking talking about Providence shit. But
Providence is amazing.
No, I get to hang out with a fucking very unique, and I feel super blessed to be in a scene that I feel like where people care about me. And you know how I know people care about me?
How?
Because when I tried to fucking get high before I got on the methadone, when I was fucking couldn't find dope and I was looking for it, nobody at Madcap would give me anything.
That's good.
Or hook me up with anybody, and I know somebody knew somebody knew somebody. So, fucking, I appreciate that, you know?
Yeah, Madcap's a special place, I think.
Yeah. They took care of me. I'm just gonna go grab a beverage.
Sure,
Fucking, do you want
I'm good.
tension, headache, relief medicine?
Yeah, this conversation worked up a headache in you.
Because it has 65 milligrams of caffeine in it. No, I feel like I'm scatterbrained.
Oh, want some coffee?
Well, that's... I'm just being much more efficient about it. Isn't it weird